Have you ever felt like there's more to life than what you see? Like there's a hidden layer of reality that only a select few seem to understand? If you've ever wondered how some people seem to effortlessly bend the universe to their will, creating abundance, success, and happiness seemingly out of thin air, you're in the right place. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on the 33rd degree knowledge, the ultimate secret of the top 1%. This is not just another motivational talk or philosophical discussion. What you're about to learn could literally shift the way you live your life. But here's the thing. To truly grasp these principles, you'll need to watch this video carefully, maybe even multiple times. Pause, take notes, and absorb every detail, because this is not surface-level information. It's transformative knowledge that demands your full attention. And while you're here, I want to hear your thoughts. As you watch, leave a comment below to share your experiences, insights, or questions. Your input might just spark a breakthrough for someone else watching. So, grab a notebook, settle in, and let's dive into the top 1% secret of bending reality itself. Stick around to the end, because the final insights will bring everything together and reveal how you can start applying this knowledge today. Part 1. The illusion of reality. Have you ever wondered if the way you experience the world is the way it truly is? Imagine yourself sitting in a movie theater, watching a gripping scene unfold. But here's the twist. Instead of enjoying the story, you believe you're trapped inside the screen, unable to escape the unfolding drama. For most people, this is how life feels, like they're at the mercy of external circumstances, unaware that they are not just the audience, but also the director of their story. The truth? Reality isn't an unchangeable script handed to you. It's like clay, ready to be molded by the lens of your perception. And that lens is far more powerful than you may realize. To understand this concept deeply, let's consider an extraordinary example, Helen Keller. Her story proves just how transformative our perception can be, even in the face of unimaginable challenges. Imagine living without sight or hearing, completely cut off from the sensory world as most of us know it. For many, this would be a life defined by limitation and hardship. Yet Helen Keller described her world as beautiful and abundant. How could someone in her position perceive such beauty? The answer lies in her ability to transcend her physical limitations. Instead of focusing on what she lacked, Helen chose to see the richness of life through a deeper understanding, a connection with her mind, her soul, and the possibilities around her. Her experience wasn't dictated by external circumstances, but by the lens she chose to use. This profound example shows us that perception is not passive. It's active. It's a choice we make every day, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now, you might be thinking, that's inspiring, but how does it apply to me? I'm not blind or deaf, but I still feel stuck in my own challenges. The truth is, your perception is shaping your reality every moment, just as it shaped Helen Keller's. The good news? You have the power to shift it. Here's the thing. The way you perceive your world directly influences your outcomes. It's not about denying reality or ignoring challenges. It's about choosing what you focus on. Let me give you an example. Have you ever had one of those days where you stub your toe in the morning, spill your coffee, and feel like everything that can go wrong does go wrong? Chances are, you started looking for evidence that your day was bad, and the universe delivered more of what you expected. Now imagine flipping the script. What if, instead of looking for problems, you actively searched for small wins, moments of joy, or opportunities for growth? When you shift your focus, you shift your energy. And when you shift your energy, you shift your reality. Let's make this actionable. Here's a simple yet transformative exercise. 1. Start questioning your assumptions throughout your day. Ask yourself, am I focusing on scarcity or abundance? Am I seeing problems or opportunities? 2. Redirect your focus. If you catch yourself dwelling on negativity, consciously look for something positive. For example, instead of thinking, I'll never figure this out, try asking, what's one small step I can take right now? Think of your perception like a camera lens. If you focus on the shadows, that's all you'll see. But if you adjust the lens to capture the light, your whole picture changes. I'll share a quick story from my own life. A few years ago, I went through a period where nothing seemed to go right. My career was stagnant. My relationships felt strained. And I woke up every day dreading what was ahead. But then, a mentor introduced me to this concept of perception as a lens. I started small, writing down 3 positive things each day, even if they seemed insignificant. At first, it felt forced, like I was lying to myself, but over time, I noticed a shift. I started seeing opportunities where I used to see obstacles. People responded to me differently. Doors I didn't even know existed began to open. This wasn't magic. It was the power of changing my focus. And it all started with questioning the assumptions I had been making about my life. If I could do it, so can you. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Your perception is just the beginning. It's the gateway to the thoughts you generate. And those thoughts? They act as the architects of your reality. They don't just stay in your mind. They project outward and start shaping the world around you. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the incredible power of your thoughts and how they work hand in hand with your perception to create the reality you experience every day. Part 2. Thoughts as creative blueprints. Have you ever stopped to think about the incredible power of your thoughts? They're not just fleeting images or words passing through your mind. In truth, your thoughts are seeds, and the universe is the fertile soil where they're planted. Every thought you have carries energy, positive or negative, and the life you're living today is the harvest of the seeds you've sown over time. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Those seeds don't just stay buried in your mind. They grow, take form, and shape the external reality you experience. This is why the top 1% are so intentional with their thoughts. They understand that what they focus on becomes the blueprint for their reality. One of the most striking examples of this is Serena Williams. Long before she became one of the greatest athletes of all time, Serena trained not just her body but her mind. She practiced visualizing herself holding the trophy, hearing the roar of the crowd, and feeling the weight of her victory. This wasn't daydreaming, it was deliberate. She wasn't just imagining the end result. She was immersing herself in the emotions and sensations of success as though it had already happened. Her thoughts weren't passive, they were active blueprints, shaping her actions and ultimately her reality. And this practice isn't limited to sports. High achievers across industries use visualization to prime their minds for success. Whether it's actors rehearsing award speeches before landing their breakthrough roles, or entrepreneurs imagining the applause of a product launch, they're doing more than dreaming. They're programming their brains to align with their goals. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I was stuck in a job that felt unfulfilling. I kept telling myself, I'll never find my dream role. Unsurprisingly, nothing changed. Then I decided to try something new. Each morning, I visualized myself in a position where I felt valued, creative, and successful. I imagined walking into an office I loved, collaborating with people who inspired me, and feeling excited about my work. Within a few months, I started noticing opportunities I'd overlooked before. My mindset shifted from why bother to what's the next step? Eventually, I landed a role that checked all the boxes I had visualized. This wasn't luck. It was the power of focused thought paired with intentional action. So, how do you harness this power in your own life? Visualization isn't reserved for athletes or CEOs. It's a skill anyone can cultivate. And it starts with small, deliberate practices that completely transform the way you approach your goals. Here's a practical exercise to help you begin shaping your reality. 1. Write down 3 positive outcomes. Each morning, take a few minutes to jot down 3 outcomes you want to see in your life. These could be anything from landing a job you love, to feeling more confident, or attracting new opportunities. 2. Visualize in vivid detail. Close your eyes and imagine these outcomes as though they've already happened. What does it feel like to achieve them? What's your environment like? Who's with you? 3. Feel gratitude as if it's done. Gratitude bridges the gap between thought and reality. Feel thankful as though your desires are already yours. This aligns your energy with the outcomes you're manifesting. And here's why this works. It's not just a motivational trick. It's backed by neuroscience. Studies show that when you vividly imagine an experience, your brain activates the same neural pathways as it would if the event were actually happening. Over time, this rewiring strengthens your confidence and primes your mind to recognize opportunities aligned with your goals. But here's the catch. Your thoughts are powerful, but they can only build on the foundation of your beliefs. If your beliefs are outdated, shaky, or rooted in doubt, they'll limit what your thoughts can create. In the next section, we'll explore how your beliefs serve as the architects of your reality and how to upgrade them to align with your dreams. Part 3. Beliefs as reality architects. Imagine for a moment that your beliefs are the architects of your life. They design the walls that can trap you in or the bridges that can lead you to limitless opportunities. The fascinating truth is this. Most of us unconsciously build walls that confine us, while the top 1% are constantly constructing bridges to new horizons. They don't passively accept limitations. They actively reimagine what's possible and build their lives accordingly. While your thoughts are the blueprints of your reality, your beliefs are the structural foundation. Thoughts alone can't build a skyscraper. They need a solid framework to support them. If your beliefs are weak or misaligned, even the most optimistic thoughts will crumble under pressure. But when your beliefs align with your aspirations, they create a foundation strong enough to support the life of your dreams. Let's look at one of the most profound examples of belief in action. Nelson Mandela. Imagine spending 27 years in a prison cell, enduring isolation, harsh conditions, and the loss of nearly 3 decades of freedom. For most people, this would have been the end of hope, a wall so high it seemed impossible to scale. But for Mandela, those years were not wasted. Why? Because his unshakable belief in freedom and equality sustained him. His belief didn't just keep him going. It grew stronger in confinement. This belief became a force so powerful that it transcended his personal struggles, inspiring action and ultimately reshaping an entire nation. Mandela didn't let the walls of his prison dictate the limits of his life. Instead, his belief built a bridge that connected him to a future of justice and transformation. Now, you might not be tasked with ending apartheid or reshaping a nation, but the principle is the same. The beliefs you hold about yourself, your abilities, and your possibilities are actively designing your reality every single day. So here's the question. Are your beliefs building bridges to the future you want? Or are they creating walls that hold you back? I remember a time when I held a belief that limited me for years. I'm just not a natural leader. Every time I was given an opportunity to step into a leadership role, I'd find excuses to avoid it. I'd tell myself, someone else is better suited for this, or I'll probably mess it up. But one day, a mentor challenged me. They asked, where did that belief come from? It forced me to reflect, and I realized it wasn't based on reality. It was a story I had created based on 1 or 2 past experiences. I decided to rewrite that belief. Every morning, I told myself, I am an effective and inspiring leader. I started taking small actions, like volunteering to lead a meeting or initiating a team project that aligned with this new belief. Over time, not only did I feel more confident, but others began to see me as a leader too. That experience taught me a powerful lesson. Beliefs are not facts. They're stories we tell ourselves, and we have the power to rewrite them. Now it's your turn. If you feel stuck or limited in any area of your life, it's time to take a closer look at the beliefs holding you back. Here's a simple process to start transforming them. 1. Identify a limiting belief. Reflect on an area where you feel stuck. Do you believe, I'm not good with money? Or, I can't succeed because I don't have the right education? 2. Challenge that belief. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it really true? Or is it something I've accepted without question? 3. Replace it with an empowering belief. Write down a belief that supports your goals. For example, I'm learning to master money every day. Or, my unique experiences make me an exceptional candidate for success. 4. Reinforce it daily, each morning. Read your new belief aloud with conviction. Pair it with a small action that supports it, like taking a course on financial literacy or starting a new project that showcases your skills. Why does this work? Science shows that our brains are wired for neuroplasticity, the ability to create and strengthen new neural pathways. Each time you affirm and act on a new belief, You're literally rewiring your brain to support that reality. Over time, these new neural pathways become the default, replacing the old ones that no longer serve you. It's like upgrading your internal operating system to a version that's faster, more efficient, and better aligned with your goals. As you begin to rebuild your beliefs, something amazing happens. Your identity starts to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone stuck in old patterns and start stepping into the version of yourself who's capable of achieving your dreams. In the next section, we'll explore how your identity becomes the ultimate boundary of your potential and how the top 1% masterfully shape theirs to align with their goals. Part 4. The fluidity of identity. Who you believe you are, your identity, is the ultimate boundary of what you can achieve. It's the invisible framework shaping your thoughts, actions, and outcomes. This is a truth the top 1% understand deeply. Identity isn't fixed, it's fluid, adaptable, and can be reshaped to align with your highest goals. When you intentionally craft your identity, you're no longer limited by who you've been in the past. Instead, you open the door to becoming the version of yourself that can create the future you desire. Why does identity matter so much? Because your identity influences every decision you make. It creates a feedback loop that either holds you back or propels you forward. If you believe you're someone who struggles, you'll unconsciously act in ways that reinforce that belief. But if you see yourself as someone who thrives, you'll naturally align your actions with that identity. A powerful example of this is Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest athletes in history. Long before he won his first championship, he boldly declared, "I am the greatest." At the time, some saw it as arrogance. But for Ali, it wasn't bravado, it was identity. By claiming that identity, Ali stepped into a mindset that shaped his actions and outcomes. His unwavering belief gave him the mental edge to persevere, train harder, and rise above challenges. Even when others doubted him, Ali didn't wait for success to prove his greatness. He embodied it first, and the world eventually caught up to his vision. His story proves that identity shapes destiny. If someone like Muhammad Ali could craft such a powerful identity, so can you. The key is recognizing that your identity isn't something fixed or predetermined. It's a choice you can make every single day. You're not bound by who you were yesterday. You have the power to redefine yourself today. Right now, let me share a personal story. There was a time in my life when I identified as someone who wasn't a risk taker. I avoided opportunities because I believed I wasn't the kind of person who could handle uncertainty. But one day, I realized this belief was holding me back. I decided to redefine my identity as someone who embraces challenges and thrives under pressure. Every morning, I would tell myself, I am resilient and capable of navigating uncertainty. At first, it felt awkward, even untrue. But as I started to make decisions from that new identity, like saying yes to a challenging project or speaking up in a high-stakes meeting, I noticed a shift. My confidence grew, and so did the opportunities that came my way. This experience taught me that our identities are like self-fulfilling prophecies. When we change the story we tell ourselves, we change the actions we take, and ultimately, the results we get. Ready to start reshaping your identity? Here's a simple yet transformative exercise. 1. Define your future self. Take a moment to visualize the person you want to become. Are they confident, successful, innovative, disciplined, or compassionate? Write a bold statement that captures this identity. For example, I am a confident, successful entrepreneur. Or, I am a disciplined person who prioritizes health and well-being. 2. Anchor it daily. Each morning, read your statement aloud with conviction. Say it as if it's already true. Feel the energy of that identity as you speak it into existence. 3. Act as if, throughout your day. Ask yourself, what would the future version of me do in this situation? Then, take action as if you already are that person. For example, if your identity statement is, I am a disciplined person who prioritizes health, you might choose a nourishing meal or commit to a workout, even if it's uncomfortable. Why does this work? Neuroscience tells us that our brains are designed to align with the identities we hold. When you consistently act in alignment with a new identity, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with it. Over time, those pathways become your default, and the actions you take to support your identity feel natural rather than forced. It's the same principle that helps people quit smoking or adopt new habits. They don't just change their behavior, they change their identity. From, "I'm trying to quit smoking" to "I am a non-smoker." That subtle shift in identity transforms their entire approach. But here's the secret the top 1% know. Your identity doesn't exist in isolation. It works hand in hand with the concepts of time and energy. When you learn to bend time to align with your new identity, you amplify its impact on your reality. In the next section, we'll explore how understanding and bending time can accelerate the transformation you've just begun and help you step fully into the future you envision for yourself. Part 5. Bending time. Most of us view time as a straight line, a steady march from the past, through the present, and into the future. But here's the mind-blowing truth revealed by the 33rd degree knowledge. Time is not fixed. It's a construct. The past, present, and future don't just exist sequentially. They coexist as infinite possibilities, waiting for you to tap into them. To the top 1%, time isn't something to be managed or battled. It's a tool that can be bent, stretched, or even collapsed. They've learned that by shifting their perspective and energy, they can pull their desired future into the present. So how do they do it? Let's break it down. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity fundamentally changed our understanding of time. He demonstrated that time isn't absolute. It bends and stretches based on perspective. For instance, imagine standing still while someone runs past you. Their experience of time differs from yours. Now, let's bring this concept into your daily life. Think about how a task you dread seems to drag on forever, while time flies when you're deeply engaged in something you love. This shows how your mental state and focus influence your experience of time. The top 1% understand this on a deeper level. They don't wait passively for the future to arrive. They collapse time by embodying the energy and mindset of their future selves today. This idea might feel abstract, but here's the key. Bending time isn't about speeding up the clock or turning it back. It's about bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Instead of focusing on the distance, focus on the version of yourself who has already achieved your goals. Let me share a personal story to illustrate this. A few years ago, I had a goal that felt years away, starting my own business. I kept thinking, I'll do it when I have more experience. Or maybe in 5 years, I'll be ready. Then, I learned about the concept of embodying my future self. I began asking myself, if I already had a thriving business, how would I think, act, and show up today? I started dressing as though I were the CEO of my own company. I made decisions with the confidence of someone who had already succeeded. I even began setting aside time to develop skills and habits that aligned with my vision. Within a year, far sooner than I had imagined, I had launched my business. Looking back, I realized it wasn't just the actions I took. It was the shift in how I perceived time and my identity. By embodying my future self, I pulled that version of my life into the present. Ready to start bending time? Here's a powerful exercise to align with your future self. 1. Set aside 10 minutes each day. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and visualize your future self, the version of you who has already achieved your goals. 2. Focus on the details. Immerse yourself in the scene. How does this future version of you think? How do they dress, speak, and carry themselves? What emotions do they feel? Confidence, joy, freedom? The more vivid your visualization, the stronger the connection to your future self. 3. Take aligned actions. Once you've visualized your future self, ask yourself, what can I do today that aligns with this version of me? It might be a small action, like sending an email, making a phone call, or dedicating an hour to learning a new skill. The key is to act as though you're already living that future. This practice isn't about wishful thinking, it's about embodying. The top 1% don't just dream about their future, they live as though it's already real. This alignment creates a magnetic pull between the present and the future, collapsing the time it takes for those outcomes to manifest. It's like setting your GPS to a destination and taking deliberate steps to get there. Think of Thomas Edison, who worked tirelessly to invent the light bulb. He didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. He believed in his vision so strongly that he acted as if success was inevitable. Every experiment, even the failed ones, was a step toward his future. Edison wasn't just waiting for the future to arrive. He was actively pulling it closer through his actions and mindset. But here's the catch. Bending time requires trust in the process and the willingness to surrender control over how and when things unfold. This is where many people struggle. They try to force outcomes, which creates resistance. The top 1% know that to truly collapse time, you need to pair aligned action with surrender and faith. In the next section, we'll explore how surrendering to the universe amplifies your ability to co-create with it, making the process of bending time even more effortless. Part 6. Mastering Surrender. When you hear the word surrender, what comes to mind? For many, it conjures up images of giving up, losing control, or admitting defeat. But in the realm of the 33rd degree knowledge, surrender is anything but weakness. It's a superpower. True surrender is about releasing the need to micromanage every detail of your life and trusting that the universe is not only working with you, but also guiding you toward outcomes far greater than you can imagine. Here's where most people get stuck. They believe that controlling every aspect of their lives is the only way to succeed. But in reality, this kind of control often creates resistance, frustration, and unnecessary delays. The top 1% understand that surrender doesn't mean inaction or passivity. Instead, it means aligning with the universe's natural flow and allowing its wisdom to lead you to opportunities you might never have considered. Let's take a closer look at how this principle plays out in real life. Take J.K. Rowling as an example. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she faced rejection after rejection from publishers. It would have been easy for her to give up or try to force her way into the literary world. But Rowling understood the power of surrender. She didn't sit idly by, hoping for a miracle. She continued refining her manuscript, improving her craft, and sending it out to publishers. At the same time, she let go of the need to control how or when her dream would manifest. She trusted that her vision would find its way to the right hands. And it did. Her perseverance, paired with her willingness to surrender control, led to a literary legacy that has touched millions of lives. So, what does surrender look like for you? It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about focusing your energy on what you can control and releasing the rest. It's about recognizing that the universe often has a plan that's bigger and better than your own. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I had my heart set on landing a particular job. I thought it was the perfect fit, and I poured all my energy into preparing for the interview and impressing the decision makers. When I didn't get the job, I was devastated. But instead of clinging to disappointment, I decided to surrender. I told myself, if this wasn't meant for me, something better must be on its way. Within weeks, I stumbled upon an opportunity one hadn't even considered, a role that turned out to be a far better match for my skills and aspirations. Looking back, I realized that my initial disappointment wasn't a failure. It was the universe guiding me towards something even greater. This experience taught me the power of surrendering with trust, even when things don't go as planned. Surrendering isn't just a concept, it's a practice. Here's a simple 4-step approach to help you master the art of letting go. 1. Identify what's within your control. Start by making a list of the actions, decisions, or thoughts you can directly influence. These are the areas where you can focus your energy. 2. Acknowledge what's beyond your control. Be honest about the things you can't change, like someone else's behavior, external circumstances, or the timing of events. 3. Shift your focus. Redirect your energy toward the areas you can influence. Use this mantra to remind yourself, I trust that everything is unfolding in my highest good. 4. Practice patience. Understand that the universe works on its own timeline, which often doesn't match ours. Stay open to unexpected outcomes. They might be better than anything you had planned. Here's the beauty of surrender. It's not about abandoning your dreams. It's about co-creating with the universe. When you let go of forcing things to happen, you create space for synchronicities, opportunities, and solutions that are often beyond your imagination. Think of it like planting a seed. You can water it, give it sunlight, and nurture the soil. but you can't force it to sprout overnight. You trust that, with time, it will grow into something beautiful. Have you ever experienced a moment where things seemed to fall into place effortlessly? Maybe you were looking for a mentor, and someone unexpectedly introduced you to the perfect person. Or perhaps you missed a flight, only to realize the delay led to an incredible opportunity. These synchronicities aren't coincidences. They're the universe's way of guiding you when you align your actions with trust and surrender. The top 1% rely on this interplay between effort and faith to achieve remarkable results. But surrendering requires something even deeper: faith. Faith in the process, faith in the universe, and faith in your ability to co-create your reality. This faith becomes even more powerful when paired with gratitude. Gratitude shifts your energy and accelerates the process of manifestation. In the next section, we'll explore how gratitude can transform not just your perspective, but also the speed at which your desires materialize. Part 7. The power of gratitude and presence. Gratitude isn't just a polite practice or a fleeting emotion. It's a transformative force that bridges the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. When paired with presence, the ability to fully engage with the present moment, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for bending reality. Gratitude shifts your energy into abundance, while presence amplifies your ability to manifest by anchoring your focus in the now. It's easy to dismiss gratitude as something we express out of politeness. But here's the truth. Gratitude is a signal you send to the universe, saying, "I see the abundance already around me, and I'm ready to receive more." The top 1% understand this deeply, which is why gratitude is an integral part of their daily lives. But paired with presence, it becomes even more powerful, transforming your perspective and your reality. One of the most inspiring examples of gratitude and presence comes from Jim Carrey. Long before he became one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check for acting services rendered. At the time, he had no clear path to earning that kind of money, but he carried the check with him as a symbol of his belief. Every day, he remained both present and grateful, present to the work he was doing to improve his craft, and grateful for the opportunities he believed were on their way. Carrey didn't just sit back and wait for success to find him. He actively pursued his goals, aligning his actions with his vision. Years later, the universe delivered. He earned exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. His story is a reminder that gratitude isn't passive, it's active. It shifts your energy, aligns your focus, and opens the door to opportunities that match the reality you're cultivating. Stories like Jim Carrey's are inspiring, but how can you bring this same energy into your own life? The key lies in making gratitude a daily habit. When you actively practice gratitude, you train your mind to focus on abundance instead of lack. This shift doesn't just feel good. It creates a ripple effect that attracts more of what you're grateful for. Here's a simple yet powerful exercise to incorporate gratitude and presence into your routine. 1. Reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. 1 from your past. Recall a meaningful experience or lesson you've learned. 1 from your present. Appreciate something you might otherwise take for granted, like the roof over your head, the kindness of a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. 1 for your future. Express gratitude for something you desire as if it's already yours. For example, I am so grateful for the financial freedom I'm enjoying, even if it hasn't yet manifested. 2. Write them down. Writing reinforces the practice, turning abstract feelings into tangible affirmations. 3. Feel the gratitude. Don't just list these mechanically. Take a moment to immerse yourself in the emotions of gratitude. Feel the joy, relief, or excitement as if these blessings are already real. This simple practice can rewire your brain over time, helping you focus on abundance and possibilities instead of limitations. But here's the thing. Gratitude alone isn't enough. To truly bend reality, gratitude must be paired with presence. Why? Because the only place where creation happens is in the now. The more fully you engage with the present moment, the more powerful your ability to shape the future becomes. Think of presence as the ability to tune out distractions and immerse yourself fully in what's happening right now. It's about letting go of regrets about the past or worries about the future and focusing all your energy on what you can do in this moment. Consider athletes performing at the peak of their abilities. They often describe being in the zone, completely focused on the task at hand. In this state of flow, they're not thinking about the next play or a mistake they made earlier. They're entirely present. And that's where their power lies. Whether it's winning a championship, creating a masterpiece, or transforming your life, presence is the state where true creation happens. I'll share a personal story. There was a time when I was overwhelmed by deadlines and constant distractions. I felt like I was barely keeping up, and my anxiety about the future made it nearly impossible to focus on the present. Then I tried a simple shift. I started my mornings with a gratitude practice. I'd write down 3 things I was thankful for, and for a few minutes, I'd close my eyes and feel that gratitude deeply. I also made a commitment to practice presence during my workday by focusing fully on one task at a time. Instead of multitasking, the results were incredible. Not only did my stress levels decrease, but I found myself completing tasks faster and with more clarity. Opportunities that once felt elusive started showing up effortlessly. Looking back, I realized that gratitude had shifted my energy, while presence had sharpened my focus, allowing me to align with the outcomes I desired. When you combine gratitude and presence, you're creating a powerful synergy. Gratitude shifts your energy into a state of abundance, while presence keeps your focus rooted in the only moment that truly matters. Now, together, they amplify your ability to manifest and transform your reality. Now that you've unlocked these transformative principles, it's time to take action. But here's the truth. This isn't a one-time practice or a quick fix. These concepts are like seeds. They need time, attention, and consistent nurturing to grow into the reality you desire. I encourage you to rewatch this video, take notes, and reflect deeply on how these ideas apply to your life. Each time you revisit these principles, you'll uncover new layers of understanding and practical insights that you might have missed before. Reflection is the key to turning knowledge into wisdom. But don't let this journey stop with you. Share your experiences and breakthroughs in the comments below. What resonated with you the most? Was it the power of gratitude, the fluidity of identity, or the ability to bend time? Your insights could spark an epiphany for someone else, creating a ripple effect of transformation. By sharing, you not only reinforce your understanding, but also become a part of a community that's committed to growth and empowerment. Together, we can amplify the energy of these principles and inspire each other to reach new heights. As you step into your power, remember this: the universe isn't something happening to you. It's something you're actively co-creating in every single moment. Your thoughts, beliefs, identity, and actions are the tools you use to mold your reality. The question is not whether you have the ability to create change, but how far you're willing to go to embrace your limitless potential. This is your journey, and the path ahead is wide open. Take that first step with confidence, knowing that the universe is aligning itself to support you. Because when you truly understand these principles and embody them, there are no limits to what you can achieve. If you found value in this video, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next step in your journey to mastery. Your potential is infinite, and your journey has only just begun. Let's keep growing together. See you in the comments and in your next breakthrough moment.